All right. So what I want to do is do the flex install for you folks. So when you do the flex install, you did fine, but I'm doing it for the video. So when you do the flex install, you have called and gotten social media. You've gone through that. You weren't able to get them closed. And so now you're going to see if they're good for the flex install first, whether the program works for them. And then if it does work, you're calling in the hopes that your manager still needs to get one. So the whole way you're presenting this is, I first have to check and see whether the program even works for you, and then let's keep our fingers crossed. My manager needed one a couple of days ago. I'm really hoping I don't disappoint y'all and I find out he already got one, and then you're picking up the phone. So it goes like this. You've done social media, it didn't work. I kind of just roll back into warm up a little bit, might pack a couple things up, move some stuff around, and then I'm gonna go, folks, I'm gonna ask you something. I hesitate to bring this one up because first of all, it's something that you have to qualify. It has to work for you. It's got several parameters to it, and it just really doesn't work for a lot of people. And then on top of that, our manager said he needed one of these a couple of days ago, but he only needs one. So I haven't heard that he's gotten one yet. So I'm hoping both of these components will work for you. But my first question is, when we do an installation like this, we do a project like this, we're typically out to your home in about 10 or 11 weeks to do the install. What I want to do is I want to open that window up. Instead of coming out right on the dot in about 10 or 11 weeks, I might be here as early as 8 weeks, or we might not even be out here until 13 or 14 weeks. We're going to open that window up for the benefit of the production department. Would you be okay with that? Would that work for you? Yeah?
Yeah.
All right. And so now I'm going to carry it to paper. I asked the first one verbally, like that's the one that kind of kills it for most people. And now oh yeah, that works for you? Like I'm happy that worked. And so now I'm gonna go to a piece of paper and I'm gonna write normal, and I'm gonna write ask, and I'm gonna draw a line, and I'm gonna go 10 to 11 weeks, and I'm gonna go 8 to 14 weeks. Now, typically when we do a project like this, if it's Kohler, I want you to say you're gonna send 3, maybe 4 people. If it's refacing, you say maybe 3, maybe 4 people. Windows, you just kind of make a judgment call based on how many windows it is. So typically on a project like yours, we would send 3 to 4 people out to do the job. What I want to know is, can we send a slightly smaller crew out? Same certified people, same quality install. I'm just going to have a slightly smaller crew. Are we okay with that? All right. So instead of sending 3, maybe 4 crew, it's going to be a 2-person crew. Now, obviously, if I send a 2-person crew, I might go over a day. On a shower install like yours, we would get it done in a day. On a refacing job like yours, it would just take 2 or 3 days. On your window project, we'd have it done in a day. But since I'm going to send a smaller crew out, your shower might go into the second day. Your refacing job might, instead of being 2 or 3, might be 3 or 4. Your window job might be into the second day. Would you be okay with that? If I go just a little bit into the next day, it goes a little, not going to leave, not going to go anywhere. We just might tag on a little bit of time. That's good? All right. So instead of being 1 day, it'll be 1 to 2 days. Now, we like to do our installations Monday through Friday. But if I'm going to have that extra day, there's a chance we might be here out on Saturday. Are you okay with us working on your property on Saturday? Would you be here to sign off on the job when we're done? Saturday's fine? Now, this next point, I'm going to do a little illustration to help you understand it better. This is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. See, our crews get paid by the job. Remember I told you how they get paid based on the better quality they do? We're motivating them in a couple of different ways. They don't get paid by the hour. We typically schedule an installation. We give you about 1 to 2 weeks notice when we're going to come out and do your install. So we might have a job scheduled on Thursday, and then at the last minute, they've got to go out of town. Somebody gets sick. For some reason, it's not a good day to have construction going on at the home. Don't say it cancels. Don't imply that you have a cancellation. No, they had to go out of town. Somebody got sick. For some reason, it wasn't a good day to have construction going on at the home. So I don't want my crew to sit at home without any work. So we like to have a job in what I call the batter's box. And each region where we do work, one, maybe two people have agreed that with just 72 hours notice, I can drop them into our installation schedule and fill that gap so my crew has a steady flow of work. Would you be okay with that? Would you be okay with just a 72-hour notice when we're ready to come out and do the installation? Fantastic. So instead of 1 to 2 weeks, we're going to give you 72 hours. And then step back and count them like you're checking. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, that's all, folks. Those are the 5 conditions that we need to have for someone to qualify for our Flex installation program. Now, here's that other part. Monday in the meeting, our manager said they had just used the last one in this area last week, and they were looking to slot another project into that program. I'm hoping he hasn't already done that. Let me call him real quick. I'm going to call my manager, and I'm going to say, hey, boss, or hey, Mr. Schneider, listen, I know Monday you said that you were looking for a Flex installation program because we'd used the last one. I just went over all the conditions with these people. They're good with opening the window at 8 to 14 weeks. They're good with the smaller crew. It's okay if it goes into the 2nd day or into the 3rd day or 4th, depending on product. Working on Saturday is fine. 72-hour notice is fine. Please tell me you still need a Flex install, and I haven't gotten these people excited. Yes? I'm so glad I made the call. Fantastic. Will you open that up in my one click on my iPad so I can show them how much money that program represents? Thank you, sir. And then I'll take my iPad, I'll turn it towards me, open up that discount button, add the Flex install, close the discount window so they don't see that there's a menu there or anything, turn it back, show them how much money they just saved. Wow, it's not an insignificant amount, is it? $1,482. Write it on the Flex install, right on the sheet, $1,147, and say, I do need to get your initials here, John, saying that you do agree to these 5 things, that in return for that money, that all 5 of these conditions are okay with you. Can I get your initials right there? And just set the pen down. Set it down between them. Whenever you're handing them something to sign, start the credit app, or you want their initials, always put it between the 2 people, because the person that picks up the pen is the person in charge. That's the person driving that vehicle in that house. That's the person that can tell the other person what to do.
Do you want that 1147 to say per Mr. Snyder?
You can if you want. I just typically do it like that, just ask for the initials. And then what I'll do is if I've used the Flex install, I'll take a picture of this and put it into the one-click agreement. Like it is an agreement that they've agreed where I've got their initials and that savings, and it's one of the photos that I put in their agreement. So if they go back and look at their paperwork, they're remembering that they saved $1,147 for the Flex install. Yes.
And when you hand that over and they sign that initial on the bottom, that's you assuming the sale.
You're done.
Yeah.
You're done. Next thing they're going to get is a credit app.
No, you're just going to pull out a credit up and say, got you. Well, I'll get everything all squared away.
Yeah, I'm going to go, all right, fantastic. I'll take a picture of that and get it in the paperwork. All right, now when do y'all start on that? And then I pick up my iPad and just act like I'm doing something. And don't even look at them. If you hand somebody a credit app, you've got to learn to have total assumption. In other words, if I'm going for what I call the credit app close and I slide it over, I don't sit there and eyeball them. I'll pick my iPad up like I'm checking something on the order. Just watch out of the corner of my eye. And if they don't pick up the pen in 30 or 40 seconds, don't look at them and say, is there a problem? I'm going to look at them and go, did you have a question? Everything I'm asking is assuming. It doesn't even occur to me that there's a problem. They just must have a question. That's why they haven't started. All my word choice is just total belief that this is moving forward to a consummated sale. There's total conviction and belief in it.
Now, would you recommend us not have a template for that Flex install in our paperwork if we were to draw one up?